First, you want to start with 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour and put that into a mixing bowl. Next, you will need 1 cup of sugar. You're going to put that right into the mixing bowl too. The next thing you're going to need is 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. So just measure that out good. Next, you're going to zest 2 lemons straight into the concoction. I absolutely love lemon pound cake, and this recipe is by far my favorite one. If your zest is getting stuck, just keep a spoon nearby, and then you can just scrape that down into your mixing bowl. So this is what that should look like now. This is the zest of 2 lemons. The last thing you're going to do here is just take a healthy pinch of salt and add that into your dry ingredients, just like that. Using a spatula, you can now toss these all together. So you should be seeing everything fully integrate and look like one powdery substance. Now in a separate bowl, you're gonna go ahead and add all of your wet ingredients. So I have my mixing bowl here. I'm gonna add my eggs. You're gonna add 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, a 1/2 stick of melted butter, 1/4 cup of olive oil. If you have a different type of oil, that's okay too. And then 1 cup of sour cream. So this is what that looks like, and now just mix this all together. The sour cream will start to totally melt into the butter and form a nice milky consistency. Make sure that you get all of the lumps out, but this is looking really good. So now we can go ahead and add this to the dry ingredients. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and just pour that right in. Make sure you scrape everything off the sides. Here's what that looks like. So now we're just gonna mix this all together until this forms a nice batter-like texture. For this recipe, it's totally okay if it looks a little bit lumpy, so don't be alarmed by that. It's gonna be a mix between a batter and a dough kind of texture here. You can smell the lemon from here. It just smells so good, okay? Just so everyone can see, this is the type of batter that this is making. So it should be kind of chunky and not totally even, but everything should be totally mixed in. So if you see something that looks powdery, that means your flour isn't totally mixed in. Just make sure it's totally all worked in, which this looks good. So now we can put this into our loaf pan. For this recipe, you want to have parchment paper lined in the loaf pan. Just to keep this down while you're pouring, a little hack is just to add a little drop in there prematurely, just to weight it down. And now this will just easily go right into the pan. Once you get it in there, just spread it evenly. Make sure that it hits all corners. So now we're ready to put this in the oven at 350. While that's in the oven, you're gonna take 2 cups of powdered sugar and a lemon and squeeze the lemon right into the powdered sugar to create your glaze. You'll notice that the sugar starts to completely disintegrate. This is such an easy icing. It's only 2 ingredients, and then we are done. I'm going to glaze my beautiful lemon loaf. This is so good for mornings or as a little dessert. Here you can see that it's starting to moisten and the sugar is starting to absorb into the lemon juice and create a nice icing consistency. So now I only need a little bit more of my lemon. This doesn't have to be exact because you'll be able to tell just by looking at it. Mix this together. This is nice and smooth now and runny. So this is all ready to go now. You can give it a quick try. Tastes perfect. It's so lemony and sweet. This is amazing. Now this is my bread. It just came out of the oven. It looks so good. You can see that it's perfectly cooked, nice and caramelized on the top. So now what I'm gonna do is just lift this up right out of the pan, move this away, and we're just gonna take it right out. That's why I love using parchment paper. It's the best hack. Okay, just like that. And now you're just gonna glaze the top with your lemon icing. This is gonna be so good. You want to get about that much on there. And now spread this around. You want to do this while the bread is a little bit warm at least so that it gets nice and melty on there. Right here, this is perfect. And basically this will now dry on top of it, so it'll be just as good tomorrow. It'll taste like a nice donut topping glaze. Let's get down the sides too. You want to just cover your whole bread. And here we have it. So I'm gonna cut a slice of this and show everybody what it looks like and take a nice bite. So perfectly moist. Look at that. This just looks so good. It's so moist. So now you can see what it looks like inside. This is just so, so good. I cannot wait to take a bite. I'm just gonna take my knife, add a little extra on there. Don't want that to go to waste. Okay, now it's ready to try it. This is insane.